In the days after Jesus was raised from the dead, he spoke of God's kingdom and how it would spread. And one day, when Jesus had gathered his friends, he told them to wait for a gift God would send. That they'd not know the details, the date or the hour, but God's Spirit was coming to give them great power. And with it they'd tell all they'd seen and they'd heard in their city and right to the ends of the earth. Then as soon as he'd finished, in front of their eyes, Jesus was taken and lifted up high. They watched as he went, till some brightly dressed men told them Jesus had gone, but he'd come back again. He'd ascended to heaven. That much they knew. But without him, their task felt much harder to do. They went to a room where they stayed and they prayed until something remarkable happened one day, when suddenly came a spectacular sound, like a rushing great wind, but incredibly loud. It filled the whole house and left people perplexed, which only grew greater with what happened next. Bright flames, just like fire, had started to flare, and they spread out and settled on each person there. The Spirit had come, just like Jesus had said, with a power that meant the good news could now spread. Because each of them there, from the strong to the weak, were filled with the Spirit and started to speak. And out in the city there'd gathered a crowd who wanted to know what on earth was so loud. And these people from every nation and land were astonished to see what was really at hand. See, what left them in shock was what each of them heard. People speaking their languages, saying their words. Good news about God in a language they knew. If God's Spirit did this, then what else could he do? But some who were watching just mocked them instead. It's because they've all had too much wine, people said. So Peter stood up and he started to show what the prophets had spoken a long time ago, about how God had said that his Spirit would come and that dying would not be the end of his Son. Peter spoke about Jesus, and many were moved. They knew they'd done wrong and asked, what should we do? So he told them how God forgives all who believe, and how God's Holy Spirit was theirs to receive. 3,000 people believed on that day. And the church kept on growing in love and in praise. All of this happened like Jesus had said. His Spirit had come so his kingdom could spread. And he's with us today, giving power to the church, good news about God to the ends of the earth.